Hey, welcome to Live from Dennis's House. Today we are spotlighting Black Sabbath Paranoid from 1970. And my guests today are the band Black Rain, the premier Black Sabbath tribute band in the world. Can we say that? Or New Jersey?
We're the American Black Sabbath experience. Black Rain.
Nice. All right, so we're going to be talking to them. We got a whole bunch of stuff we need to talk about. But first, we're going to start the show off with some music. And we're going to do a long-distance dedication to Richard Simmons, wherever he may be. So
All right.
We're going to start the show off with Fairies Wear Boots, and we'll be right back. Hey, welcome back live from Dennis's house. That was Fairies Wear Boots off of Paranoid. Uh-oh, what's that? We're getting an important call.
Uh-oh. Sorry, man.
That might be Sharon on the line. You don't know.
It probably is.
Sharon.
Yeah, so we played Fairies Wear Boots, and like I said, that went out to, who did I say went out? Richard Simmons. Because have you heard about this, what's going on with Richard Simmons? Nobody seems to know where he is. They cannot find him.
I thought he was being held hostage by
That's
his
exactly.
housekeeper, right?
And don't you think that maybe, because no one's seen him in a few years, right?
Right.
And don't you think now that maybe the police should go and investigate? Like, if someone says he's being held hostage, the police can go in and see and clear this up right away.
Was anybody really looking for him?
Last time I seen Richard Simmons, he was wearing them striped shorts.
Yeah, that's the last time anybody saw him.
Yeah, so I don't know what...
And a pink guinea tea or something.
I'm hoping to get him to call in.
Sweating
That would
to
be
the
awesome.
oldies.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's where we met,
Sweating
right?
to the oldies.
Sweating to the oldies class in Long Island.
That's it.
So anyway, there's a lot of stuff went on this week. A lot of people named Chuck died. Chuck Berry died first, of course. What would we call him? The king of rock, the forefather of guitar, I would say. Anyone who's ever picked up a guitar owes gratitude to Chuck.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely,
I think
right?
Tony Iommi learned a little bit from him. Man.
Absolutely. It's just that...
I met the man.
Did you met Chuck Berry?
I have a story.
Oh, tell us that story right here, Dan. Yeah.
I was lucky enough to be on a bill with him at BB King's a few years ago. And I stood in front of his dressing room holding my guitar, waiting. It seemed like an eternity. I waited and I waited. And his wife comes outside and she goes, "When you get that signed, huh?" She goes, "He won't sign it. He doesn't sign instruments at all." I'm like, "I gotta try. This is Chuck Berry." I'm like, "I play because of this man, you know?" He comes out and he scribbles his name on my guitar.
Ah, nice.
Nice.
Wow.
To this day, I cherish it. And
Where do you have it? Up on the wall?
I still play it.
Oh, get out.
All the time.
You didn't smudge it off, did you?
It's a little smudge, but I still know whose it is. So.
Yeah.
That's
Guitars
awesome.
are meant to be played, so.
Yeah.
Wow, that
But
could
I
be
don't know.
worth like at least one college.
Now it can.
It's priceless to me.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I'd never sell it.
Oh, man. We're going to have you back on. We'll do a Chuck tribute and you bring that guitar.
Cool.
Yeah. And I'll distract him and give him a fake guitar to take home with him and I'll keep Chuck's guitar.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, so he's got a new album out and everything. It hasn't been out yet. It's going to come out in the summer, but I understand a song was released today. So I didn't hear it yet, but I'm hoping to hear that. I'm excited for this. Love Chuck Berry. And then,
90 years old, though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
they
that's
say
a good
he's
life.
the first rock star that died of old age.
I can't believe that Chuck Willery is actually 87 years old.
Right.
Chuck Woolery.
Was that his name?
I didn't bring him up. I thought about that. Maybe he's the third one that's going to die because the second one was Chuck Barris.
Oh, that's it.
Gong show.
The Gong
Yeah, the
Show.
Gong Show.
From the
Okay,
Gong
I'm not.
Show, yes.
No, I'm talking. What am I talking?
Chuck
the
Woolery.
The Dayton Show
Yeah,
or
what was
whatever.
that Chuck Woolery? He used to always wear the big giant watch. And it
Dating
was like
game.
some sort of...
The
What's the
dating
dating
game,
game?
yeah.
Chuck Barris invented the dating game. But there was some other show from like the 80s that Woolery was on. And he did like match. It was called Date Matches or
It
something.
was the dating game.
Oh, it's
dating
not the
game.
dating game. It was
Newlywed Game?
No, it was a new game in the 80s that it was kind of like a dating kind of thing. Nick, Google
Love
that.
Connection.
Love Connection!
There it is.
Love Connection. That would have driven me crazy. See, you got even faster than Nick could Google it. So, yeah. So, Chuck Woolery, I believe, may be still alive. Nick, check that out if Chuck Woolery is
It's
still
not,
alive. But Chuck
you know.
Barris just died. The Gong Show,
Yes,
one
he
of the
was
funniest shows of the
hysterical.
70s, I
Yeah.
would have to say. With Gene the Dancing Machine.
Absolutely,
and
man.
The unknown comic. The guy
Yeah, the guy with the bag on his head.
And then...
Didn't he go like this? all
Yeah,
the
that
time,
was
right?
that was an unknown comic.
And they also made a movie about that guy.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Is any of that true?
That he was a CIA agent
he
or
was
something.
a killer for the CIA.
Yeah, man.
I doubt
Oh, yeah.
highly that
He
actually
was
happened.
crazy.
Well, we'll have to have Nick Google that and find
Nick,
out.
Google that too. First of all, Nick, is Chuck Woolery still alive? Nice. Get him on the show. He's only 76? All right.
Yeah.
Chuck Woolery, we'll have him call in for next week. Hey, welcome back live from Dennis's house. And now we're going to talk to Black Rain, and we're going to talk about Black Sabbath and this album, Paranoid. So, let's talk about when this album came out. This album came out in 1970. I got the exact date here somewhere. Where is it?
72.
No way.
70.
1970. Where's my notes about the year, Cha-Cha? What'd you do with that?
First 2 records were in 70.
Oh, here it is. September 18th, 1970.
That's right.
Yes.
I was wrong, man.
They were so influential, it was ridiculous. And this album was so good that this came out, like I said, 1970. There was lots of peace, love, and flowers and stuff like that. But the band formed in, where were they? Birmingham, England they came from.
Yes.
And they formed like in 67 under different names and things. Earth, right?
Yeah, Earth, and then there were another name too.
Polka Tulk.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
I'm going to go to you for all the trivia now. So, back in 67, of course, it was all peace and love. And I wrote down a quote of Ozzy, what he said about this. He said, "It was me and 5 kids living in a 2-bedroom house. My father worked nights. My mother worked days. We had no money. We never had a car. We very rarely went on holiday. And suddenly, we hear about, if you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear flowers in your hair. And we're thinking contemptuously, what the F is San Francisco? Where is this? What's all this flower crap? I've got no shoes on my feet." So that pretty much sums it up for Black Sabbath, and then they went on to, they formed the name, they changed the name Black Sabbath, I think from the movie back in 69, right?
Yes.
And that's when they said they're going to start doing this dark, heavy stuff. People love horror movies and things like this, so they started and this. And to make it even more ominous, you guys were talking about Tony Iommi, and he tuned his guitar down because he had an industrial accident and chopped off his fingers.
Oh my!
Yeah, how many fingers?
2, right here, tips.
On his pick hand or his fret hand? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And
Sheet metal accident.
His mother made him go back to work. He came home.
He
Came home on lunch and
signed.
said because he was going in another band. He was going on tour, and his mother said, "You get back to work and finish the day."
We don't
It's
quit.
a paper cut.
Yeah, right. Let's put some Windex on it and get back to work.
He got pretty depressed about it, though, because he was about to give up.
Yep.
And a friend of his told him about Django Reinhardt, who got burned and lost all of his fingers, and still was an amazing acoustic guitar player. And that.
Oh, Django didn't have any fingers either?
No.
Damn.
And that gave Tony the
I
drive
think-
to go.
Yeah, I think fingers are holding some people back. Yeah. People are going to be chopping their fingers off randomly.
Yeah.
Now, saying, I want to play like Iommi. Yeah.
And plus, he used lighter strings because the
Yeah, it was easy to hold down.
easier,
Yeah, wow, that's something. And Jerry Garcia didn't have a finger either.
Yep.
Wow, we're gonna have to start a club. The No Fingers.
I got
Guitar
no finger
Club.
either. Look, man.
Yeah. So
The Nub Club.
yes, so this was.
Oh no!
This was let me talk about this album now. It's a second solo album by Black Sabbath. Contains several of the band's signature songs, including Iron Man, War Pigs, and the title track Paranoid, which was the band's only top 20 hit, reaching number 4 in the UK. And it is often regarded as one of the most quintessential and influential albums in heavy metal history. So what do you think about that?
I agree.
I agree.
Is this your favorite Black Sabbath album of all the Black Sabbath albums?
I don't have a favorite. I love them all equally.
Yeah.
Me, all Ozzy era is my favorite.
So, yeah, see now, this is a thing where we're going to have to leave Cha-Cha out of it because it's not necessarily a girl thing.
Right.
The girls don't normally like Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
They kind of like Ozzy. They got to like Ozzy from the show and
Right.
stuff. He was charming with Sharon and the kids
Right.
and all that stuff.
Yes.
But it's generally a man's domain here, so don't say anything. You sit there. We'll tell you when to speak. So, so anyway, let's get back to this. It was recorded in London in 5 days, and Paranoid was actually an afterthought. They had the album done, and they said, "We don't have enough songs. Let's do another song." And then they put Paranoid on there. But he had a problem with it. with Paranoid. Do you know what his concerns were? I think it was Iommi or Butler or somebody had a concern about it. He said that it sounded too much like Communication Breakdown from Led Zeppelin's first album.
I never heard that before.
Yeah.
I never did either.
Yeah, and it is similar, but
I know the album was supposed to be called War Pigs.
Right.
That's how the album covers like that.
Yeah, this picture here is supposed to be, I don't know what it's really supposed to be.
Soldier.
With a sword or something,
Yeah.
and they're originally going to call it War Pigs, but of course they didn't want to do that because it was controversial at the time, so they called it Paranoid instead, but they didn't want to take the picture over, so I guess it could, whatever.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a cool picture. Who is that holding the sword on the album cover?
I
Is it
don't.
one of the band members? Oh my
Looks
God!
like Bill Ward.
It's Richard Simmons. They're so short. So anyway, now let's talk to you guys a bit, and then we'll get back to Black Sabbath. Now, is Black Sabbath your favorite band? We'll talk to you, Brian, first. Like, growing up as a kid, when did you get into Black Sabbath, and how, and all that kind of stuff?
My buddy turned me on to Black Sabbath when I was 7. Turned me on to that album, as a matter of fact. I was around the block, and we, this dude, Thomas Hederman, good friend of mine. He's like a brother. He says, man, you got to hear this song Iron Man. And he handed me an 8-track tape of Paranoid. And I went home and I listened to it, man. I was like, wow. And then I listened to the whole thing, and I was just, that was it. That was the first time. Because I was really, before that, I was a big Kiss fan, Like I used to dress up like Kiss and put little shows on in my basement, And now here we are playing with Kiss Alive 75, second time. But Black Sabbath was always my favorite band. Ozzy was always my favorite singer.
Yeah.
And that's basically how that started, man.
So now, and what about you, Dan? How did...
For me, it was friends. I was about 11 years old, and a buddy of mine had a boombox, and he had a cassette in there that he borrowed from his older brother, and he starts playing, I'm not even sure what record it was so long ago, but it was Sabbath, and I was just like, what is that? And we just started listening to it over and over again, and like I said, I fell in love with it, but as far as picking my favorite band, I can't. They're all equal to me. I mean, I have like...
You mean your favorite album or your favorite band?
Like you, because you also asked if Sabbath our favorite band.
Oh.
So what I'm thinking is like, I love Zeppelin. I love Sabbath. I love Deep Purple. I love AC/DC. I love Lynyrd Skynyrd. I mean, I can't... As long as there's guitars in it, I'm usually like, oh, this is great.
Well, it's the same for me, too.
I can't pick a favorite.
I am the same with him, I mean, I love all them other bands, but Sabbath is just something about them.
All right, we're going to have to force you to pick a favorite band by the end of the show, Dan. So you're wearing a Rolling Stone shirt, so I'm going to guide you in that vein. So we both have Rolling Stone shirts on this side.
Yep.
Rolling Stone's my favorite
Look,
band.
I got Black Sabbath shirt on.
Black Sabbath, yes.
See?
Ozzy Osbourne, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward. Now, does anybody know what Geezer Butler's real name is?
Yes.
Of course.
What is it?
Terrence,
yes.
Terrence.
Terrence, very good. And now I'm sure you know Ozzy Osbourne's real name too.
John Michael.
John Michael, very good. You guys are good. So, and he was a very big Beatles fan as well.
Yep,
You guys know
that's
that?
what his influence was.
Yeah.
How about Tony's real name?
It's
not Tony?
That's his middle name.
It's Frank.
Actually. It's Frank
Is
Anthony.
it really? Oh, I didn't even know that. Wow. This album is so ridiculously good. I'm going to name all these songs. Every single song is a classic in my mind, and many others. War Pigs, Paranoid, Planet Caravan. Now, Planet Caravan was a departure. It was like an acoustic song with that crazy effects on his voice. Do you guys do that ever?
We've never done it.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind doing it.
Yeah. Iron Man, Electric Funeral, Hand of Doom, Rat Salad, and of course, Fairies Wear Boots.
We do every song on there except for Planet Caravan.
When you do your show, if I come to that April 8th show, I'm going to be in the front row screaming out, Planet Caravan! Till security tases me. But, so actually, what should we do? Should we talk? Oh my God, this guy, it's, whatchamacallit? Who's on the phone now? It's Richard Simmons dialing in.
Richard Simmons is dialing in.
You should answer.
What's up, Rich?
Where are you?
They're looking for you.
Dennis has been looking for you. He wants you on the show.
Okay. So anyway, now let's get to Black Rain. You guys in Black Rain, the tribute band to Black Sabbath. Do you do Ozzy songs, solo songs as well, or just Black Sabbath?
We used to do Ozzy stuff, but we, named the band the American Black Sabbath Experience.
Okay.
So we just
that's
figured we'd just
me.
stick with Black Sabbath.
All right, now here's an even more important question, determining whether I'm coming or not. Do you play Ronnie James Dio songs or just?
No.
I'll be there then.
No.
What's wrong with Mr. D?
We'll get to that later. But let's talk about you guys now. And you want to name the other members of the bands and things like that, and then tell us about this upcoming gig you guys got.
Yeah, Brad.
Well, we got Greg Locascio, he's drummer, and
Scott DeStephanis on bass.
on
Nice.
bass, which he's really great. Scott is the newest member of the band. Never met him before. We played with Kiss Alive 75 last year in Asbury at the House of Independence.
Oh, that's a nice place.
I met Scott on stage. Danny brought him in. He was, from Danny's old band, or one of his other bands, Sabracadabra. He was, bass player for them, and he brought it. And
So you guys never practiced?
Never
No.
And he showed up on the stage playing the bass.
Yeah.
for
To
this
that.
day, we've never
we
nice.
we
This is
still
the
don't
band.
we don't
That's
practice.
awesome.
We don't
That's
we don't
awesome.
practice.
We don't practice. We know it.
Yeah, he
We
walked out.
we
played.
he walked out. He did it, and that was it. I asked him to join the band, and
Oh, nice.
and he said, "Yeah."
Oh, that's pretty cool.
He's a great guy. He's a great bass player. The drummer, Greg, is awesome. He's a really hard hitting drummer. Him and them two click, it's unbelievable how they play together.
Yeah, solid.
Nice.
And Danny is totally Iommi on the stage. I mean,
Yeah, cool. Yes, you
He-
guys
he-
played the acoustics version, the Black Sabbath medley on acoustic,
That
which was
was interesting.
awesome. That people are going to go crazy for that. You don't get to see much acoustic Black Sabbath medleys, and it was great. So, tell us about this gig. You got a gig in Lakewood, New Jersey at the Strand on April 8th, right?
Wow.
yes. We got the call from Gene.
The dancing
From-
machine.
Gene Simmons from Kiss Alive 75 and asked us if we wanted to play with him, because we told him, if you ever want to play with us, again, we're in,
Uh-huh.
And they called us, and I said, yeah, and I told the guys, and that was it.
Nice.
Strand Theater.
Yeah,
Played
that's
there
a
once
beautiful
before.
theater.
It's a great place. There's great sound in there. I can't wait for this gig, man.
Oh, that's going to be fun. Are we doing anything April 8th?
I don't know.
Put that on the calendar.
Yeah.
We'll have to go check this out. Now, the Kiss band you're playing with, it's not the Midget Kiss band, is
No,
Mini.
no.
That would be
Did you
fun.
guys ever see them before?
No, I seen them, but I never seen them like live or nothing.
Right,
but-
right. I heard of them too.
No,
I'd
these
like to
guys
see them.
are they're pretty good. I mean, they put on the stage show like
really?
like the same stage as the
Oh,
Kiss Alive album.
Oh, wow. This is
They
gonna be a
they
lot of
look
fun.
they look a lot like them.
Yeah, they wear the makeup and everything.
They do
I'm
the
sure.
fire.
Oh, they have pyrotechnics?
Everything,
Oh, yeah.
man.
Wow.
Oh yeah, the drum riser goes up.
Wow.
Smoke. I mean, they're awesome. They're a very very good talented band.
Wow, this is going to be awesome.
So it's going to be pretty good. Black Sabbath and Kiss 70s tribute. It's going to be great.
That's April 8th, the Strand Theater in Lakewood, New Jersey. We got Kiss Alive. What's it called? Kiss Alive 75?
Yes.
Nice. And Black Rain, the American Black Sabbath tribute band.
I like that.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. Everybody go out, and can you get tickets online and stuff?
Yes.
Go to the Strand, I
You
guess?
can go to the Strand box office. You can go on Facebook, the American Black Sabbath Experience, Black Rain on Facebook. Go to the event page. Tickets are on there. I think it's thestrand.com and box office from the Strand.
Nice. All right, so everybody go out, and I expect to see you at the Strand Theater now. So now it's the time of the show where we're going to smell the album, and we're going to name our favorite Black Sabbath song off of this album. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever smelled your albums before.
I used to all the time.
Ah, see? So you know this is a huge treat. So I'm going with Hand of Doom off of here. I love that song. Dum-dum-dum. You gotta hum the song too.
I'm smelling fairies wear
Okay.
boots.
Nice. There you go. What's that song about?
Let's see.
He had a,
Skinheads, I think.
yeah, he had a run-in with skinheads and Ozzy. Yeah, that never turns out good.
Did I say Paranoid?
Paranoid or Iron Man? Your choice.
You have to sing them for me again.
I am
Right.
Iron
That's
Man.
the
I
one.
just snorted
like
a couple of
yeah.
My favorite song is also Hand of Doom
Nice.
on that album.
There you go. So it's a classic album. Ozzy's had a bunch of guitar players too now, so I want to talk about who is our favorite, including we got Tony Iommi. Who else was it? It was Randy Rhoads, Jakey Lee, and Zakk Wylde. Now I understand you knew Zakk Wylde too. You
Yes.
grew up in the same town as Zakk.
Yeah, I know Zakk for, I don't know, 40 years, 35 years.
Wow.
Yep.
Can you give me an interview with him when he's playing? He's coming around in May. I want to check it
I
out.
don't know, man. I mean, he's probably busy. I don't know. I'm sure he'd love to come on here, man. He's
Yeah, I'll contact
good
his
dude.
people. Yeah. So was he like just growing up with this guy? Was he the most incredible guitar player in town? Everybody said, "Oh, this guy, he's gonna destined for something."
pretty much. I mean, there was a lot of good guitar players in my town. Zakk, there was a guy, Eric Bowe, Ray Pond, Mario Frasca, and my brother Michael was pretty good too.
Oh yeah.
And Jeff Weiland, he was pretty much the best, and became Zakk Wylde.
Oh, I didn't even know that was his name. I knew Zakk Wylde wasn't his real name, but
Yeah, he actually got the name Zakk from Dr. Zachary Smith from Lost in Space.
Wow.
And then when he went into Ozzy's band, when Ozzy said you got to get a different last name, so supposedly he was in a bar or pub with some chick, and some commercial came on about something wild, and the girl said, "You should call yourself Zakk Wylde," and that's how he got the
That's a
name.
good
There you
name.
go. Right. Yeah.
But yeah,
Originally-
Zakk is he's a good dude, man.
Yeah, and of course his new band, Black Label Society. I love them. That was a great band as well. So, but I've got to say, of all these guitar players, my favorite is Tony Iommi. I have to stick with him, even though the rest of them are good.
I gotta
Great
say
ones, too.
that our drummer Greg Locascio is the singer of Cycle of Pain, which is JD from Black Label Society's band.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
side project. Yep.
Wow.
The side project, yes.
Oh man! So he plays the drums and then he's also the singer.
He's a singer in
Wow.
Cycle of Pain, yes.
Wow, this is awesome. So that's good stuff. Who's your favorite guitar player? Can you name that your favorite guitar player of all time? Let alone these guys. Putting you on the spot here.
Once again, how do you do that? I'll do a holy trinity and say it's Iommi, Hendrix, and Page.
All right, there you go. Can't go wrong with
Eagle.
those guys. Yeah. So, and that's the thing about this band. It was perfection. When big bands get to this level, it's just like lightning striking. You know, these four guys got together, and it's just Ozzy's voice was so distinct. And, it was unbelievable. And, if he didn't chop off his fingers, like all this stuff had to happen in order for this to happen. But they couldn't keep it together. But they are back together and all these things. But
Did he eat a bird?
that's what I want to ask, too. What did everybody think about this? These rumors that he bit the head off a dove.
Oh, that was
and then he
true.
bit the head
That's
off
true.
a bat as well.
That's true.
So he did both.
Yes.
Wow, that is awesome.
The bat he thought was rubber. Somebody threw it on the stage and he bit it off when he was intoxicated on the stage. And
Yeah.
And it actually bit him, and he had to get rabies shots too.
no, it actually it
was
didn't, but
dead.
it was dead.
Oh, because that's what
He thought it was
I
rubber.
heard,
Somebody
too,
just
yeah.
threw it on a stage and he
Yeah.
just bit it off, But he did get the
A
shots.
bat in your pocket.
Yeah, right. And at the Dove, I think it was like
The Dove
an
was at
executive or something.
that was at they were trying to get the album going, and he was all intoxicated. He says, "I'm gonna bring a couple doves in and let them fly out."
Oh,
Hey,
Nick, the show's growing, Nick. Yeah.
His wife, says, "Why don't you bring some doves in and let them fly out?" And he pulled one out of his pocket and just bit it off. Had some girls
my
sitting on his
God.
lap, and that was it. They threw him out.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. That's a rock star for you. That's absolutely. You're not gonna see Justin Bieber doing something like that, right? You know?
Who the F is Justin Bieber?
So as I mentioned before, he married Sharon, and he had this reality show. And another story that I heard, I think it was Guns N' Roses guys was saying it, that when they were on tour, that Ozzy snorted a whole line of ants. Did you ever hear that?
Was Motley Crue.
Okay.
Yes, that's true.
You can't shut this down?
That they were on the curb, right? And they were all wasted. They just got on the tour bus, and there's a whole bunch of ants. And the guy said, "Hey, look at those ants." And Ozzy took a straw and snorted all the ants.
Yes, that's
up.
true.
There you go.
He also peed on the Alamo.
Yes, he got arrested for that.
In a woman's dress.
Oh my God, he's pretty cool.
I love Ozzy. There you go.
Yeah, he's a knucklehead. He's crazy.
He's fun, actually.
All right.
Right?
So what else we got to do, Nick? Now we got to do the news now.
Yes.
Wrap it up.
All right, we're gonna do the news first, then wrap it up. 'Cause I got an exciting news story. So this is out of Madhouse magazine. This exciting news story that we were mentioned in the magazine as well, the show. So Boy George, singer of Culture Club, tells all about his recent sphincter rejuvenation surgery. The 50-year-old George, born George Allen O'Dowd, discussed his surgery recently on Live from Dennis's House show. Years of activity had stretched the sphincter beyond its usefulness and was causing George serious discomfort and embarrassment. I sat down on a bar stool and the whole stool disappeared, said George. Also, when I would sneeze, I would make a mess in me knickers, explained George. A surgery known as LSR, laser sphincter rejuvenation, takes 1 hour to perform and includes replacing the sphincter with silly putty. The bonus is that after the surgery, the patient can sit on a newspaper and make copies. Boy George is recovering comfortably and will now be able to tour without the aid of diapers. Let's hear it for Boy George! Yeah. And Richard Simmons all in one show. What a show. So, all right. So now it is time to wrap it up. It went so quick here. So now, once again, I want to thank Black Rain for coming on. Let's hear it for Black Rain. And
no problem,
Brian and
man.
Dan and the other guys. So now this sounds like a great show. And now that you know that I'm going, April 8th, we don't have anything, right?
No,
that day?
I don't think so.
All right. Nick, check my calendar. So everybody go out there. April 8th, Strand Theater, Lakewood, New Jersey. You got Kiss Alive 75, Black Rain. And maybe you'll get to see me yelling out Planet Caravan from the front row. So, yeah.
Rock and roll!
Do we have anything that Brian can bite the head off of while we're going to commercial?
Oh, man.
No, don't throw that.
That's the abominable snowman from Rudolph.
So that's it. We now have to wrap this show up. And you guys got anything else to say before we wrap it up? Yeah, he's gonna bite the head off Sigmund. So that's it. Anything else? Any parting words? You got your favorite band yet?
Sabbath.
Thanks for joining us here on Live from Dennis's House. Check us out, madhousemagazine.com, all social media, blah, blah, blah. Check out Black Rain, Kiss Alive 75, all this stuff. So now, what else are we going to do? We're going to wrap it up and we're going to play some songs to go out with, too. What songs would I like to play? Like I said, this is a long song, so we're only going to play one. But we're going to play Hand of Doom by Black Sabbath off of this, and then we're going to play the Artist of the Month. Thanks for joining us. Live from Dennis House, 474 The Mix. See you next time. Cheer for Black Rain.